honored to connect with Mona AlHebsi, and today I am thrilled to be speaking with Mona AlHebsi, who is success coach, accomplished hoteler, and renowned author, as well as multiple award winner, thought leader also. So thank you for coming my interview station. Please tell us about your background, and already mentioned short of you, but your background is too long. So please tell us about your background.
Okay, Tushar, thank you very much for hosting me today. I'm actually very honored to be, introduced by you again. As you mentioned, thank you for the brief introduction. But yeah, I'm currently working with, career counseling, career
Yes.
coaching, writing a lot of content in terms of, career development, career planning and management,
Yeah.
especially in my own country, where my current work revolves around
Okay.
focusing on the local talent, counseling them about the needs of the job market, how to
Yeah.
be prepared, whether they are job seekers or whether they are working professionals in the
Yeah.
private sector,
Yeah.
and how to actually remain competitive with time
Yeah.
by upgrading or continue to develop themselves,
Yeah.
upgrading their skills and qualifications and according to the needs of the job
Yeah,
market.
yeah. So that's interesting career planning, and you are the big holder. So I really honored to connect with you. So my first question for you: how do you think about access your skill, interest, and value when setting career goal?
Okay, so generally, how people can get started in this,
Yes.
obviously, like when you are getting into, the career planning phase
Yeah.
or a process, in the beginning, it's very important to assess your skills, interests, and values.
Yes.
And that's really important because it will give you an idea about, okay, what are your, for example, strengths, what are your, areas for development, what kind of skills you already have that
Yes.
needs maybe a little bit of polishing,
Yes.
and what skills that are lacking that you need to actually start building, and then obviously you kind of consider also your previous experiences, what did you have
Yes.
worked
Yes.
before, or if you have ever worked or not,
Yes.
and the requirements of the job market.
Yes.
And based on all these elements, you can actually do a lot of things, like, for example, a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah.
You do a lot of research.
Yes. Yes.
You do, for example, a lot of, they do a lot of value-based exercises to
Yes.
recognize,
Yes.
okay, so as an individual, these are my set of values, and are they actually aligned with, let's say, if I want to work for organization XYZ,
Yes.
are we aligned in terms of values, or do they serve different values? So maybe I know straight away that, okay, I need to go and look
Yeah.
for work in an organization that is more aligned with
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
values.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like how to get around that after you get all this knowledge,
Yes.
you set smart goals
Yes.
for the coming period,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
make sure that, okay, if the goal is very big, break
Yes.
it down to small pieces,
Yes.
and based on that, just continuously or regularly review that goal,
Yes.
adjust it if needed,
Yeah.
and you are good to go. Actually, just
Yeah.
continue developing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting direction. Whatever you done in your word, I just understand proper planning. You have to first. So that's outstanding,
Mm,
insightful direction. So my next question
mm.
for you: what is your long-term career goal? How a person plan to achieve them?
Yeah, I mean, building on the previous question, so
Yeah.
let's say if you as an individual or as a professional have long-term goals, so the best way to go around it is, again, like, to really try to understand those goals. Why would you, your motives behind it? The self-assessment is obviously very important, as we said. There are a lot of career tools, actually, for people who want to understand.
Yes.
So my favorite among them is the Clifton Strength
Mm.
Finder, because and there are a couple of others, actually. You have the MBTI, you have
Yes.
the other kind of DISC, for example, assessment. But I particularly like the Clifton Strength Finder, because This assessment, if you go through it
Yes.
to plan your career, you will actually get the top 5 themes
Yes.
that are really most prevalent in your personality.
Yes.
And based on those top 5 strengths,
Mm.
we always, like in career counseling or coaching, we actually encourage people to build their careers around their strengths, not around their areas for development.
Yeah.
Because we say, okay, if you build it around your areas of development, you can
Yes.
just become average.
Yes.
But if you build capitalize on your existing skills, you can become exceptional, actually
Yes. Yes.
exceptional.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that's why focusing on strength, maybe using these kind of career assessment,
Yes. Yes.
and of course, seeing where is the gap.
Mm.
If you need to polish any kind of skill, if you need to, for example,
Yes.
build any new skills, where networking is an important part of the whole
Always.
process, where you need to know people, expand your network, and of course, like I said, set the goals, break it down to smaller goals,
Yes.
and celebrate the small ones along the way.
Yes.
So you can get keep going. I mean,
So that's understanding direction, whatever you done. So you already mentioned the 5 things important in the long-term goal. What is the 5 things?
the 5. Oh
Mm.
no, I was talking about the strength. I mean, I don't know, Tushar, if you have maybe have seen the Clifton Strength Finder,
Yes.
but actually the Strength Finder is a tool that
Yes.
any person can use.
Yeah.
So maybe you go through an assessment
Yeah.
to understand what are your top 5 themes.
Yes.
So for me, for example, if this is your question, what are the top 5 for me?
Yes.
So for me, it was number one, the maximizer. So I'm
Maximum.
a maximizer, means I have the ability as a person
Yes.
to turn something which is good into something great.
Yes.
So
Yes.
whatever resources you give me, I will do my best, and that comes to me naturally. And this
Yes.
is what the assessment told me. Number two, I'm a relator. So
Yes.
relator mean I really know how to relate to people, build relationships, and people can really relate to me, and vice versa. And
Yes.
I can get things done through this thing. For example,
Yes.
the third strength I had is a significance.
Yes.
Significance mean be people who with significance theme
Yes.
always want to make a difference. So they
Yes.
don't want to sit still and do nothing.
Yes.
And let's say if they work in organizations where they feel they are actually not making a difference, or their skills or talents are not
Yes.
being used, they will just leave because they want to have really an impact where they are. The number four strength I had was futuristic. So
Yes.
I always have the ability, I mean, as a person with this theme, I have the
Yes.
ability to foresee the future. So, most of the visionary people have this in the top 5.
Yes.
And before the things happen, like I
Yes.
can foresee them and start working or developing. And there are actually examples in my life where I actually thought, oh, I mean, back in, let's say, 2013 or 14,
Yes.
I
Yes.
kind of had this at, oh, coaching. Let's just get into coaching. Let's
Yes.
and at that point, there were not many people talking about it.
Yes. Yes.
But I had a strong urge to actually go and get the certification and learn
Yeah.
about coaching. And here we go. Like you see these days, and I kept on developing in this field.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
everyone's talking about coaching. Everyone's getting certification in coaching.
Yes.
But having been someone who have sensed that coming and,
Yes.
and done it already,
Yes.
alhamdulillah, yani, I think I'm quite good in this field now,
Yes.
and continue again developing myself in this. And the fifth one is it was input. Input mean I'm someone who enjoy continuous learning,
Yes.
gathering information. I always would like to be updated on what's going
Yes.
on.
Yes.
So now, for me as an individual, knowing that these are my top 5, what will
Mm.
I do? I'll focus on careers, on endeavors, on projects
Yes.
that
Yes.
will actually I can make a difference in terms
Yes.
of these 5 things.
Yeah.
So it's the same for any person. If you also yourself, you undergo this assessment tool,
Yes.
you will know Tushar's top 5. So
Yes.
Tushar will not actually waste his time doing the things that he might not be so strong at,
Yes.
but he
Yes.
will actually plan his career according to his top 5 strengths.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought these 5 things very inevitable or very important in the real life situation when you any person initial stage planning a career goal. So should we follow your words? So thank you for your
Of course.
give wonderful answer. So my next question for you: what role do you believe mentorship play in career development, and have you actively sought mentorship in your career?
Yeah, definitely. I think most of the people who are high performing or who are doing something really meaningful in their life, you will notice that they have at some point in their career sought
Yes.
mentorship or asked someone who is doing really well in that area of speciality
Yes.
to mentor them. So
Yes.
generally, just to define mentorship,
Yes.
could be one of the very important career tools that anyone can use, and
Yes.
it's basically as an individual. Let's say if you put your we spoke about smart goals. So
Yes.
let's say if I'm as an individual, for example, one of my smart goals is to establish my personal brand. Let's say just
Yes.
an example to establish my personal brand. So what would be my next possible maybe action is to go and find someone who is very experienced in personal branding,
Yes.
who has done it, who is very successful in this field, and
Yes.
go and ask this person to mentor me,
Yeah.
because this way I will save a lot of time. I will not have to go through trial and error and يعني explore
Yes.
maybe things that will not work. خلاص, I have someone who have done it, who have succeeded at it.
Yes.
Go and help, get this person to help you learn from his experience, learn from the things that he might have made as mistakes so that you can avoid them.
Yes.
He
Yes.
will also, or she will give you access to their network. So let's say if this person know other people who can maybe help you expand your career, he or she will connect you. A mentor
Yes.
does this. He opens doors,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
So I've sought. I think in my career, it was a combination between coaches and mentors.
Yes.
But if we talk about mentors were around like two.
Yes.
I remember them vividly. They
Yeah.
really helped me so much. It was mostly in the beginning of my career.
Yeah, obviously it is inevitable. It totally internally effort mentorship obviously must be needed when initial stages. So to
Yeah.
develop our dreams or profession like that. So that's a
Hmm.
pretty interesting answer. And my next question
Hmm.
for you: how do you prioritize professional development opportunity within your career goal?
So now again, it depends on your career development plan. So this is one of the things that every working professional or every individual wanting to develop their self should have a career development plan.
Yes.
Now depends on that plan. Usually for me, I make sure that at least I have a 2 years plan ahead.
Yes. Yes.
So sitting here today, I know what I'm planning to do in the next 2 years in terms of career development, what kind of certifications I'm planning to acquire, or if there is any workshop or conference, or if I would like to
Yes.
speak in certain conferences, I know what are those conferences,
Yes.
and I go and seek those opportunities actually.
Yes. Yes.
So it really comes back to your career development plan, your smart goals,
Yes.
and if that's there, you would know. For example, would it be a
Yes.
certification? Would it be a mentorship opportunity? Would I actually go and seek a mentor in this area, a particular area I would like to learn about? Is it, for example, education I would like just to study, or maybe a couple of books I would like to read?
Yes. Yes.
So it all depends on the plan you put for yourself, and of course you need to really balance what you do with whatever the job market requires,
Yes.
if there is a need for it or not, and if there is again new skills, new direction that the job market has,
Yes.
how can I within my field, uh,
Yes.
you know, maybe learn about the new trends so that I can
Mm.
be relevant in today's job market.
So it is the very important. So learn about Newton and apply in your lives or etc. like that. So that's a
Of
pretty
course, of
interesting.
course.
So that's one question for you. Could you provide an example of time when you proactively sought out a new skill or experience to further your career?
Yeah, I think I could think of couple actually of
Yes. Yes.
examples. Having actually told you about my one of my themes, which is
Yes.
futuristic person. Being a futuristic person,
Yes.
I have this, alhamdulillah, I have this ability to foresee things before they happen. So one of the examples I just told you, like when I got into coaching, how did I? Because at
Yes.
that point I was working in the corporate
Yes.
as an HR professional,
Yes.
and there was no really big talks about coaching or something, but
Yes.
I just had a strong feeling to get into it.
Yes.
So I went, I searched about this. I attended one of the best certifications in that field,
Yes.
and from that time, the rest is history. And the other, again, the other one I can tell you about is it was quite recent, maybe I
Yes.
would say 1 year back thing, where when I got into this project of
Yes. Yes.
currently which that I'm working on with working with local talent,
Yes.
counseling them, coaching them, helping the government to achieve the emiratization or the nationalization objectives, and uh, become more specialized in coaching and career coaching, and I've attended like another certification specifically on how to become a career coach and navigator, which actually have really expanded my horizon, because my understanding to coaching has
Yes.
really changed from that certification,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I've understood that the role of career coach or navigator is not only helping you to maybe improve your CV or get that kind of job. No, it starts from the very beginning, where as a coach you identify the emotional needs, the challenges, in the beginning, and try to address this,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then move, to
Yeah.
the to the job part where you
Mm.
improve the CV or give them the job sites or whatever it is, or the skills. So that's what's very insightful for me, and
Mm.
it's really helping me in my current role.
So this insightful, maybe people get also motivated to your work, and those things apply in her life.
Yeah.
So my next question for you: have you ever faced setback in your career planning? How do you handle it?
Mm, yeah, of course. Yeah, I think all of us, we kind of we go through periods in life where
Yes. Yes.
I mean, things doesn't go the way we plan it. And for me, the most relevant example I can give you is when I had my first child,
Yes. Yes.
where actually as a mother, I had to just take a step back and say, okay, career or baby.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So it happens to a lot of women
Yes.
at
Yes.
some point in their career. So I had to obviously choose my baby, because the question I asked myself at that point is, okay, which one of them I will not regret
Yes.
if I chose. So
Yes.
obviously the baby, I had to take this decision, because this is something that was more relevant to me at that point.
Yes.
But then, of course, every decision have cost to it. So for me, after just taking a step back from my career, I kind of faced some kind of a challenging period in my life where I tried to get into the job market. I was not getting opportunities. But then it's all about the rejections and how you feel about it, and dealing with the
Yes. Yes. Yes.
inside issues, because okay, you are good, you're qualified, you have
Yes.
all what it takes, but you are just not getting the opportunity.
Yes.
So here I had to really be very truthful to myself, and sit and reflect and say, okay, what is it, and how can I actually
Yes.
change how I see this with the whole situation.
Yes.
So
Yes.
then when I started seeing it, okay, maybe I need to really start thinking differently, or thinking of career in different way, because career doesn't have to be a job. A
Yes.
job is one aspect of career, but
Yes.
career
Yes.
can be so many other things.
Yes.
And the moment I kind of change that perspective, I started having opportunities again. So it's like,
Yes. Yes.
wow, a lot of time we don't understand the impact of our
Yes.
internal talk on how things on the things that goes in our life.
So
So
you,
that was
so you face a lot of the problem, but you solve your that time to determination and handle it that situation. So every man should be strong determination like you. So my next question for you: how do you balance short-term career advancement opportunity with long-term career planning?
yeah. So this I think that we touched based on this a little bit earlier, where we said, okay, when you do the SMART goals and the self assessment, the SMART goal, identifying the strengths and the areas for development, and so many other things.
Yes.
You need to obviously have this long term. What will serve, or what would you like to be serving? As a life purpose, as a message
Yes.
in your life, versus what is happening currently in your life. So let's
Yes. Yes.
say. The balance between the both.
Yes. Yes.
Currently, I have, for example, I'm doing, let's say, coaching, counseling,
Yes.
helping
Yes.
other people to find more meaningful careers and so on. But then that should really be relevant to my current work. What are the small, short-term objectives that will
Yes.
allow
Yes.
me to do my current job in the best possible way? What are, let's say, the
Mm.
certification, the qualification, the experience?
Yes.
And I do that. And then I also make sure that this is really aligned also with my long term.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it's not working in different directions. So
Yes,
this
yes.
is basically the kind of alignment you need to find.
Yes.
The approach really you need to always remain adaptable
Yes,
as
yes.
well, because well, it's not that okay we set smart goals, we stick to
Yeah,
it
yes.
regardless what happened. No,
Yes.
life change, requirements change, a lot of things happen. So
Mm.
you need to be quite adaptable, flexible with
Mm.
this planning, and
Mm.
able to change when required.
So that's a pretty interesting. You have mentioned about sort of the advice, the adaptable, flexible, that time. So obviously you have to
Mm,
balance between the long term and short term, and the between the
of
two
course.
goals. So my next last two
Mm.
question for you. One question is, what method do you employ to evaluate potential career paths and make informed decision about your professional futures?
Yeah, so this is again having a couple of things on your toolkit
Yes, yes,
as a professional who's working on your career planning or career management.
yes,
So
yes,
again, like knowing the tools, knowing the assessments that you need to do, having a better understanding for yourself,
yes,
your interests, your strengths, as we said earlier. Researching basically means researching the different industries, the different job roles that might be relevant to you, the different company that you might work for example, in this context, and assess also how their, let's say, work culture
yes,
is.
yes,
Is it in alignment, as I said, with your values, or it's
yes,
different? That's one thing, and of course, focus on networking, because networking is very important. Yani,
yes, yes, yes,
these days, I don't know if you have heard about the concept of the hidden job market,
yes, yes,
but they say like around maybe from 70 to 80% of jobs are not posted.
yes, yes,
Whatever you see, the posted jobs are only 20% of what's available.
yes, yes,
So where does this 70 or 80% of jobs go?
yes,
It goes to the people who like people know. So
yes,
networking. If you know people, you will
mm,
tend to get better opportunities, better career roles, and so on. So make sure that you expand your network, you help
yes,
others, so that you also get help when you need it.
yes, yes,
And then again, goal setting, what we said,
yes,
setting
yes,
the goal, smart goal, aligning the short term with the long
yes,
term, and the certification, the skill development, and finally the trial experiences.
yes,
What
yes,
does it mean? It means, okay, I've done everything I have
yes,
as a person, but then I don't have experience in this. So what do? I go volunteer, I go internship,
yes, yes,
because okay, just seeking the theoretical part or
yes,
getting certification, or attending the course will be only half of the
yes, yes,
equation. The other half is mostly when you go and do it
yes,
and
yes,
transfer the layers to the field, and
yes,
then you would know how applicable it is. You would know whether some certain areas work, certain areas doesn't work. Maybe hey, this is where I can I put my personal touch as a professional, and so
yes.
on. So the trials or the work experience is very important.
So that's the pretty direction you just mentioned in force here. Networking is the key rule here. So obviously we should follow their path,
Mm.
and everyone should be follow their paths and advices. So the last question for you: could you discuss a time when successful navigate a career advancement? What factor contribute to your success?
Again, like as I mentioned, it's the time when I was at the, like they say, it was a crossroads, and
Yes,
I
yes,
really didn't know whether I need to go back to my old
yes,
career path, or do I do need to navigate a new one.
yes,
So what really have helped me, the very first step is
yes,
is just the self reflection,
yes, yes,
and being very clear about, okay, what is my self concept or self image,
yes,
what are my capabilities, what do I have as a person, resources,
yes,
the
yes,
capabilities, qualification, experience,
yes,
versus what's the market require at this point.
yes,
So it's really trying to bridge the gap between both things, and
yes,
see where your current skills fit
yes,
in the picture.
yes,
Because now when we even talk to people who are job seekers,
yes,
or people who are professionals who want to move to the next level
yes,
or change career, we really focus on transferable skills.
yes,
So
yes,
as a person, you have number of skills.
yes, yes,
See what kind of skills that you have existing now
yes, yes,
you can transfer to the new field, or to the
yes,
new career, or to the new job, for example,
yes, yes, yes,
and build on those. So
mm,
take a stock of that,
yes,
set your goals,
yes,
go apply it, and Allah will really,
Mhm.
take care of you.
Yeah. So that's a very
Mm.
insightful direction. I would be. It is very helpful for the young generation or who had be do not take a proper planning for the job sector. So this interview session for dedicated those person do listening and get motivate and apply those things in or her his life. So thank you very much to accepting my interview session and give your valuable direction. It is really relevant that times. So thank you for very much.
Thank you, Tushar.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I really appreciate also what you do, in terms of, in your age as a person. I can see, for example, how involved you are with the community.
Yes,
And
yes,
I would encourage all the youth like to really do what you are doing because
yes,
you are connecting now. What are you doing actually from
yes,
some time I'm noticing?
yes,
And this is really commendable because
yes,
you connect with the professionals in
yes,
different
yes,
fields, focusing on different key
yes,
areas, and you're bringing them
yes,
to
yes.
people to understand, discussing more important topic
Mm.
that the youth or the
Yeah,
graduates need to understand
yeah,
about career, about life.
yes, yes,
So this is one of the key things that will add to your inshallah career progression
yes,
because you are shedding light on important
yes,
topics.
yeah,
So
always.
carry on and well done,
So,
Tushar.
thank you for your kind or kind advice for my upcoming career. So, it is very kind of that time. So, do not share that times of what, but you already have a time, you just patient. So, it is very honorable and appreciable work. So, we can finish our meeting. So, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Tushar. Bye.